The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
We are continuing to follow breaking news here at 6. The race for governor topping our newscast tonight. Thanks for joining us on the News at 6. I'm Brent Hart.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart has officially filed paperwork to become a candidate for governor.
Yeah, previously Stewart had announced she would not run for re-election for mayor so she could explore a potential run for governor. And now it's official. Now, here are 3 things you need to know right now. That paperwork was received by the State Elections Enforcement Commission this morning. Stewart is set to make a special announcement Thursday at 5 p.m. at New Britain Stadium, and it is free to the public. In the Post, she wrote, quote, "It's time for something different." Governor Ned Lamont announced last week he will run for re-election, and we'll have more information on the governor's race on fox61.com.
And now at 6:01, we're learning more about a homicide in Farmington, where we've learned 62-year-old David Popolarsek was stabbed to death on Friday. And over the weekend, police arrested Joshua Popolarsek, David's son, in connection.
He is charged with his father's murder and was arraigned this morning. Fox 61's Solene Arif shows us what happened in the courtroom.
It's a case neighbors tell me have shaken up this community in Farmington. The blue house behind me is where police found David Popolarsek in the living room with multiple stab wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Neighbors tell me he lived here with his wife, but not his son, who has been charged with his father's murder. A neighborhood unsettled and a family changed forever. It was around 4 p.m. when police were called here to Birch Street for what they say was a report of an apparent untimely death with suspicious circumstances. Police tell us the victim had multiple areas of trauma. The next day, they arrested this man, 31-year-old Joshua Popolarsek.
Probable cause hearing must be held. Did you want to be heard on that?
Joshua didn't speak to the judge or his public defender, Corey Mainville, but Mainville said she'd like to get him back in court as soon as possible.
Relatively quick date, if possible, 12/2, to sort out representation. I'm not sure if the family will be hiring counsel.
The judge gave Joshua a $3 million bond at his arraignment and said if he can afford the payment, it would have to be taken care of at the courthouse. But that would come with strict monitoring, and he'd be put on house arrest with an electronic monitor if he can post bail. While the arrest warrants are sealed for the next 2 weeks, the arrest log for Joshua shows he lives in Avon and is currently unemployed. But this isn't the first time he's had violent charges. According to court records, he pled guilty to a strangulation and suffocation in the third-degree charge from September 2023. A year later, in October 2024, he was sentenced and was given a suspended jail sentence of 11 months with 2 years of probation. That means he was charged with murdering his father while on probation from his last charges. Neighbors on Birch Street tell me they didn't know about his previous charges and have no idea what happened leading up to the stabbing. They tell me it's one of the most peaceful streets. That's now the place of one of the most horrible crimes. The next court hearing for Joshua is set for December 2nd. In Farmington, Solene Arif, Fox 61.
Well, during an arraignment today, prosecutors said a Naugatuck man called 911 last night to say he stabbed his mother and father. 25-year-old Stanley Santana was charged with first-degree assault and other crimes. Prosecutors say his mother locked herself in a bathroom and called 911 to say she had been stabbed in the head. Police said Santana was outside his house where it happened when they got there and was holding the knife and waving the officers down. Police said both his mother and father were seriously hurt but are stable tonight.
Here's what I'm going to do. Instead of having to apply for the public defender today, I'm going to continue the matter out for 45 days.
Well, tonight, new delays in the court case involving Raul Valley. That's the man acquitted in that deadly Shelton house party stabbing. Valley was given more than a month to find an attorney, but returned to court today, still without one, asking for even more time.
Now, Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Milford now with what the judge decided and with why the victim's family says they are frustrated.
Last month, a judge gave Raul Valley a little bit over a month to find a lawyer. However, he says he still hasn't secured one and needs more time.
Either you're going to apply for the public defender or you better have a lawyer in here representing you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Valley asked the judge for 60 more days to find an attorney. However, Judge Peter McShane granted Valley 45 days to find an attorney instead. The last time he was in court, a judge recommended Valley apply for a public defender if he still didn't have an attorney by November 17th. However, Valley says he would still like to continue the search for a private attorney.
I've been calling and meeting with numerous lawyers over the past month. They're asking for large sums of money, which me and my family are trying to put together. So I'm asking for a little bit more time to get that done.
The prosecution asked the judge to instruct Valley to apply for a public defender to move the process forward. If he decides to hire private, then the case could be turned over to them. Kevin McGrath, the father of the victim, 17-year-old James Jimmy McGrath, called the delays in the proceedings frustrating.
Just postpone, until we get on the docket again. So, appreciate your support.
Valley was acquitted of murder and first-degree manslaughter, as well as the intentional assault of 2 other people at a 2022 house party in Shelton. Valley's defense during the trial revolved around self-defense. He claims he drew a pocket knife during a violent assault in which he was attacked by more than 10 people. The prosecution argued Valley came to the party with a weapon looking for a fight. Valley's next court date is January 6th. If he doesn't have a private attorney by then, he will have to apply for a public defender. In Milford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
And if you would like to read up more on what happened in court today, scan the QR code on your screen and download the Fox 61 News app.
Well, it's a cold start to the week, but the good news is no rain for the next few days.
Very chilly. I had to wash my lawnmower this morning. I know that sounds odd. There was a compelling reason to have to do this, and my hands were aching.
Oh, yeah.
By the time it was cold out there. It was wintry.
You probably were a little worried. Would the sweater freeze? It felt that cold out there today, Rachel.
Yeah, especially with the wind, for sure. That was a factor all day, too. As we head through the coming days, temperatures will still be below average, but not as cold or as windy as today. So baby steps towards feeling a little bit more comfortable, but this is the kind of weather you expect this time of year. Even though it is cool, it is calm. As they mentioned, we are not looking at any rain over the course of the next few days. Here's a look at the winds, gusting up to 19, 22, 26 miles per hour, and temperatures are currently in the 30s to right around 40 degrees. Right now, the temperatures don't give you an idea of how cold it feels, though. The wind chill right now, 33 in Meriden and 37 for the New Haven area. Earlier, there were some snow showers. This was last night. There's nothing going on right now. The radar's in hypersensitivity mode. We'll see overnight lows near 30 degrees as we head towards daybreak. And tomorrow, we'll see bright sunshine with high temperatures in the 40s as we head through the afternoon, and winds that could gust up around 20 or 25 miles per hour. We're going to talk more about the weather leading into Thanksgiving week. Your full forecast is coming up in just a bit, guys.
Thank you, Rachel. Police say a South Windsor woman attacked someone in front of children. She has since been arrested and charged. Police say earlier this month, Kamari Williams hit the victim in the shoulder and head and then swung a knife at the victim multiple times in the presence of 2 children. It's unclear in documents where this all happened and how she knew the victim, but Williams has been charged with risk of injury to a child and criminal attempt at assault. She appeared in court this morning.
Well, the state has ordered 3 Bridgeport businesses to close for now because police say all 3 were carrying products that contained THC that they were not allowed to sell. They say they found 135 pounds of those products at Dubai High on Boston Avenue, but haven't arrested anyone there yet. They say they found almost 16 pounds of THC products at Rad's Smoke Shop on Boston Avenue and arrested the clerk on duty there. And then finally, they say they arrested the owner of Morales Market on Kossuth Street, Jenny Francisco Salcedo, after finding under a pound of THC products as well as narcotics residue and scales. Well, home care workers gathered at the Department of Social Services this morning to give grievances to its commissioner. They're alleging their payroll provider, GT Independence, has left workers with partial pay, delayed pay, and in some cases, no pay at all.
And those workers say these issues have been happening actually for years, but have just recently gotten worse. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson has the latest on what happened today.
Home care service workers sent a message that working without pay is unacceptable. They packed the lobby of the Department of Social Services trying to find a resolution, but ended up leaving with more questions than answers. 2,800 grievances. 800 of these are just from the last 2 weeks. The complaints are from different home care workers across the state, but they all allege they aren't getting properly paid. Samira Capehart is the delegate for the union and the personal care attendants.
They're scared. They're fearful. Why are they not getting paid? They're getting up every day and morning through the night doing their job, and they're not being compensated, and there's no accountability.
All the PCAs you see here care for a loved one or someone else's loved one. Letitia Council has been a PCA and CNA for 25 years.
I work between 70 and 80 hours a week, and for me not to get paid is disrespectful, and it's devastating sometimes. One's bedbound, and like I said, the other one is blind, so it's difficult for me to work for them and not get paid.
PCAs allege these issues have been going on for years, but truly ramped up since the company GT Independence took over their payroll duties in April of last year. Since then, the PCAs say GTI has claimed they are over budget or the hours they worked are unauthorized and they won't be getting paid or will get the money late. The Department of Social Services brought in GTI in place of Allied Payroll after grievances of the same nature.
It's a bit worse. We were very optimistic, but now with these things happening, no, this is unacceptable. There's a lot of PCAs wondering where are they going to get their next meal? How are they going to pay their bills?
Teresa Coyle helps manage a team of PCAs to help care for her brother Mike, who suffered a traumatic brain injury at 19.
They need to be paid. We're under constant stress. Whenever one person leaves, we're in crisis, never mind multiple.
The workers tried to hand in the grievances to the commissioner at DSS. Thank you.
Who are you, sir? I work for Social Services. I don't believe I have to give you my name. I work for Social Services.
DSS is the only ones that can stop the disrespect that is happening to every PCA that you see standing here, even those that you don't see today, who is still working and may not be getting paid.
We reached out to GTI and the Department of Social Services, but have not heard back yet. The 1199 New England Union and the workers hope to get together again a week from now to try to find some answers. In Hartford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.